guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you some cooking hacks for those of you who are total beginners and new to cooking, or if you're just wanting to learn a few more tricks and tips, then I have 15 cooking hacks for you in today's video. So when I met my boyfriend, he had no idea how to cook pasta, which I was very shocked by. But I think that a lot of us maybe are completely new to cooking or new to making our own food in the kitchen, and I take that for granted that I've learnt it when I was younger. And a lot of us have, a lot of us have been taught it by our families, but some of us haven't. These would be great for beginners or students, but also for those of you who are just after some tips and tricks. So before I get into the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am doing an ebook sale this weekend because it is my birthday on Sunday, woo! So I'm gonna be having 10% off both my ebooks from today, which is Friday, through until Monday the 22nd of January, making them only $9 for that period of time. So all you have to do is enter the code BIRTHDAY when you check out. I will leave a link to them down below. So let's get into the video. So the first thing is how to cook rice. I've had this requested quite a lot in my recent recipe videos, and I have a foolproof way of how to make the fluffiest, perfect rice every single time, and it requires no measuring. So my mum taught me this, and it is essentially the absorption method. So all you want to do is pour the rice in the pan. You can rinse it beforehand if you'd like to. When the rice is in the pan, you want to fill up the pan with some water. So the key here is the amount of water you're filling up. Basically, you want to be filling it up to a thumb's width above the rice, and therefore you don't need to measure anything out, you're just doing it by eye. I use boiling water from the kettle just because it saves time, but if you don't have a kettle or you can't be bothered to do that, then you can just pour in cold water. So when the water is a thumb's width above the rice, you then want to turn it on and bring it to a boil. Once it's reached a boil, turn it down a bit so that it is just simmering, and wait for the water to reach the level of the rice. You'll notice tiny little holes coming out of the rice, and that gives you the indication that the water is reaching the same level. And at this point, you want to put the lid on the rice and turn off the heat completely. When the heat is off, don't move it, leave it there, and you just basically wait for the rice to steam. This will take approximately 5 to 15 minutes. Honestly, I don't actually time this because it's so easy, you can just leave it to do its thing. So to check it's cooked, basically just take off the lid and have a look and see if all the water is absorbed. You can just put your fork in there and just have a little look, and then you want to fluff it up with a fork. This is the best way to fluff rice so that you don't get any clumps or anything, and you should have the most perfect cooked rice. I like to drizzle lemon in my rice because it makes it taste even more delicious, and I will enjoy this with a variety of meals. I eat rice more than probably any other food out there. But you never you can't get what you never had. The next thing is peeling garlic. This can be super annoying if you don't know how, but there are 2 ways here to do it really easily. The first way is to cut off the ends of the garlic and then simply squish it with the side of your knife. It works best with a really big, thick knife, and you just push down gently and it should crush the garlic. You don't want to crush it too much, just enough that it kind of breaks. And you should find that the garlic skin should come off all in one piece. The second way is to, again, chop the ends of the garlic cloves off and then put it in a Tupperware container. Shake the Tupperware container up a few times, give it a good shake, and then the skin should either have come completely off by itself or should come off all in one go. Now we're moving on to ginger. I had for the longest time chopped ginger with a knife, and it just takes off so much extra ginger and it's a real waste. So the best way to do it is with a spoon. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is scrape off the skin with the spoon and you're not wasting any extra food. So the base to a lot of meals is onion and garlic. It really brings a lot of flavour to the dish, and I tend to cook it with pretty much every single meal that I make. So you want to start out by putting a little bit of oil in the pan, not too much, you really don't need as much as you think, and waiting for that to heat up. Add in your onion and cook it on a medium heat until it goes translucent. So the trick is to not add in the garlic and the onion at the same time. I do this still sometimes just because I'm feeling lazy, but it does make it taste better, and it saves you from accidentally burning the garlic and making the whole dish taste bitter. So when the onion is translucent, all you have to do is simply add in the garlic and continue frying it. Another hack here is to not add in more oil when the pan is getting a bit dry. Just try adding in some water. It really helps to deglaze the pan and stop it from burning, and also just saves you using extra oil in your dish. I also like to use a non-stick pan to make things a lot easier. So next, if you want to make a tasty spicy meal, then you want to add in the spices at this point. It's easy to just chuck it all in one go, bung everything in, but if you add the spices in at the start of your cooking, then it will really bring so much flavour to the dish. You want to fill your kitchen with the beautiful aroma of the spices by frying it in the pan for about 2 to 5 minutes before you start adding the liquids. So if you're using mushrooms in your meal, this is the time to put them in. Mushrooms have a really high water content, so you don't want to be adding them in with all of the other liquids and later on, because it will end up making the sauce or whatever it is you're cooking mushy. You want to put it in first before you start adding other stuff, because then it will release all the water. The mushrooms tend to shrink down really, really significantly, and it brings so much more flavour and makes the dish a lot more delicious. So I see a lot of people adding sauce on top of their pasta when they serve it up, but the best way to do it is to add it all in together in the pan before you serve up. So this is the traditional way to do it. This is how Italians do it. So if you're making a simple tomato pasta, some kind of arrabbiata sauce, you want to add the spaghetti or the penne or whatever pasta you're using into a big pan together with the sauce and give it a good mix. Put it on a low heat and do it when the pasta is al dente, not when it's completely cooked, because it will cook through and it will make all of the pieces of pasta coat in the delicious flavour. So this is something I used to do at uni a lot. It's putting a jacket potato in the microwave before cooking it in the oven. If you're really craving that beautiful fluffy jacket potato, but you don't have the time to wait for an hour for it to cook in the oven, then give this a go. So all you need to do is pierce the potato on both sides and then put it in your microwave for around 6 to 8 minutes, depending on the size of your jacket potato. You'll know it's ready to go when it starts to get soft and it starts to crinkle up a little bit. So take it out of your microwave and then shove it in the oven at around 200 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 15 minutes. And voila, you have a delicious jacket potato in so much less time. Lemon juice is an excellent alternative to salt, or just as an extra flavouring to your meals. There isn't a meal that I cook that I don't put lemon juice in it, so give it a go. Speaking of lemons, if your lemon is particularly hard and you can't squeeze it very easily, this often happens with limes especially, just zap it in your microwave for around 10 to 20 seconds and it will make it a lot easier to squeeze all that delicious juice. So if you really need to ripen some fruit fast, if you're craving some avocado toast for breakfast the next day, then all you have to do is shove in some bananas with your fruit. The gas, I think it's called ethylene, in bananas will help ripen whatever fruit is nearby faster. If you really, really hate green vegetables, then the best thing to do is to add frozen spinach to everything and anything. I love to add a little cube of frozen spinach to my smoothies in the morning, or you can add them to curries or stews, and it's a great way to get some green vegetables into your food and your meals without really tasting anything. The last one is a really great meal prep tip, and that is frozen herbs. All you need to do is chop up a big bunch of herbs, shove them in your ice tray with some water on top, and freeze them. All you need to do is take out the ice cube with the herbs in it as and when you need them, shove them into the pan, they'll melt down and make your meal a lot more delicious and save you a lot of time. So I hope you enjoyed those cooking hacks and tips. If you did enjoy it, then give this video a big thumbs up, because I have so many more up my sleeve. I just didn't want to make this video really, really long. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any cooking hacks or tips that you use on a regular basis, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Is that right? I don't know why you started eating. Is that right? Another closer, yeah?
Way closer. It was probably the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. Like,